We are live now. Just give me a second. Okay. Good morning, everyone. This is Shashwat over here from Design Teenage. Hope you all are doing well. And right now, at this very point of time, when we are in such a situation where we just have a few days left for our NATA 2023 second attempt exam, it becomes very important for anyone watching this video, for students in class, for people who are watching us live on YouTube, for students who will be watching this session as a playback, or if you are someone in the app and watching this class. At this very point of time, what's most important and the strategy for the preparation of your NATA 2023 exam should be somewhat like, now we will go question by question and try to see and understand what are the kind of questions that might come up. So we will compare today. So basically what we are going to do in terms of mock tests or so, for people watching it live on YouTube, the video's title is Mock Test Paper Pattern Discussion. So what we are simply going to do, or what we have planned for today's class or session, is that today we are going to discuss topic wise that, okay, in this paper, which we had last year, and we have got from one of our students the paper of this first attempt of NATA 2023. We will compare what are the kind of questions that are there, what are the different segments under which we can categorize the set of questions, what are the marks allotment for them, and how, and which are the ones for which we need a little bit more effort to go ahead and prepare. Coming to the second part of it, we also need to understand at this very point of time that there is no time right now wherein we will go topic wise and revise everything. So the very simple way of understanding or going through these things is just that we will go topic wise in terms of these questions, that okay, what are the segments of question under which it's divided. Okay, if there are any sort of changes that major changes that we have seen in comparison with the last year paper, which we haven't seen yet for the first attempt, the very simple change, or the very change which is quite distinctive or quite being emphasized on, is your this 30 seconds question has now been modified to 45 seconds, which is, I feel kind of good for the students only, wherein they are getting a pretty good time for their exam preparation also. So now coming to the fact that let us start our discussion on what we have today and what are the kind of questions also. So first we will go through your this last year paper, last year session 1 paper, followed by we will move on to this year's paper, and we'll see what are the kind of categorization or questions, how they have been segregated. I guess students in the meeting, on the class, you are okay with it? Any doubts, any queries?
No, sir.
Fine. Let's go ahead. So over here we have our last year paper. I will share my screen. Okay, can you guys see the screen now? Is it visible to you?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So this is our 2022's NATA paper of session 1. And we will see, first of all, we will quickly go through the paper. 63 pages are there. We will quickly go through them. Now I must tell, you will see a huge difference in the number of pages. This year, last year it was 63, this year's PDF, when you see it's 39 or something like that. Now, why this difference? The difference is nothing but how the questions have been arranged, what is the format in which the questions have been given. This is just simple representation, depending upon which how the screenshots have been taken and the PDF has been formed. That has made it these number of pages or that number of pages, however it has been done. Okay, so coming to the fact now, let's proceed ahead with what are the kind of questions involved. So first of all, in last year's paper, what we have seen is that we have this mathematical questions. Okay, so how many questions are there and what are the marks involved, we will try to see. So first of all, I will take a note of these things over here. So by the end, once we are off the screen and we will come on camera or towards the board, then we will be able to see what are the distinctions or what are the different kinds of segregation of mark sectors, or how the paper pattern have differed if there is any. So I'll draw a line over here in center, and let's go ahead with the discussion also. Okay. So for us, the first thing is the NATA 2022 paper. Okay. So now we will start our discussion. The very first option or the very first one is mathematics. So in mathematics, we are seeing like the paper starts with maths. And see, as I have mentioned earlier, so now here comes a very important point that, sir, what are the kind of questions that can come in maths? We will try to see some of those questions as well. So what has been asked over here, if the average of 20 number is 0, how many numbers could be greater than 0? So these are the questions which you have done in your, like, if you have written the competitive exams also, I guess most of the schools do conduct some sort of this Olympiads, then, your, I don't want to name any these sort of competitive exams, wherein you should have given these kind of reasoning mathematical questions. Okay. So now these kind of questions will be there, wherein some of the basic doubts will be, like basic questions will be asked. It is not something like you will be asked, as I have mentioned earlier also, you will never be asked to do an integration or differentiation or a calculus problem or something much more harder. Okay, there will be very basics. Now, when I mentioned that 10th, 11th standard, 11th standard questions might come from set relations, probability, again, the very simple things. Okay, so now we have 1 mark. See, all these are 1 marks questions. Next question, it talks about the dimension of a hall. If a person requires 200 cubic meters, find the number of persons who all are accommodated in the hall. So nothing but, so what, how do you solve this question? Quickly, tell me the procedure, not the answer. Quickly tell me in 2 or 3 steps, what is the procedure to solve this question? Guys, are you there? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
What is the procedure to solve this question?
Of the area of the hall.
Just hold a second. Yeah, please.
We take out the area of the hall.
Okay, after that. So you have been like, LBH, length, breadth, height. You find out the volume. Over here, 200 cubic meters, like, is the, you have been given the volume a person requires.
Divide that by.
Just divide the total space by the, like, by the space required by one person. So it's as simple as that. If I just take it on calculator and do the calculation real quick. Anyways, like, it's that is not how we are going to do, because it's very, we can do it like, verbally also. When you are doing these sort of calculations, there is not even for you to write it on down on rough page. You have 40, 20 and 25. Leave the zeros aside and multiply 25 by 4, it's 100, and multiplied it by 2, so 200 into 200, and there will be 2 zeros at the end. So it is 2 like 20,000 is the answer that you are getting. Now 20,000 and persons, like, the area required by one person is 200 cubic. So if you divide, how many persons can you accommodate over there? Which is the correct answer? Option D, 100 persons. As simple as that. This is the space and this is the way you should calculate, right? So the calculation shouldn't be like, the time consuming, or it shouldn't be for something for you wherein you will need a pretty good amount of time. That shouldn't happen. You should remember in mind, because what I told you guys earlier, these are 1 mark question, first thing. Secondly, very easy to be done. Now, when you are calculating or doing these questions, the time, the few seconds that you save over here will be helpful for you once you go for 30 seconds question, or for a question, for example, the question which we have discussed in our yesterday's live class, wherein you are asked to identify number of triangles, those things, like, and counting figures or so. So over there might be wrong calculation, there might be some rechecking required, and at that point of time, you will need some time. I have mentioned this to guys again and again. So see, maths questions are going on. Now again, so what do you think about these questions? Quickly, can you tell me? Please unmute yourself, tell, and then again you can mute yourself so that there is no background noise. A cyclist moving at a speed of 20 kilometers across a bridge in 2 minutes, length of bridge. What kind of questions are these? Is it a 9th, 10th answers question or something very hard to solve?
No, these are easy questions only.
These are easy questions. So when these are easy questions, and like, I guess last day before yesterday, as I mentioned, I got a call from a girl and she was like, my maths is weak. I really don't understand that if these are the questions where you feel your maths is weak, like this is a very normal overview, then you will have to think over it, that how I can plan and how I am going to solve the rest of the paper. Because these questions are one of the easiest, and the best way to solve them is the more you practice and mental calculations, because these are the questions which are where you can score marks and where you can save a lot of time. Okay, so over here we get a few maths questions. We will count the number now. So it's 4 questions of maths, 5 questions, everything is of 1 mark, 6 questions, 7, 8, 9, okay, 10 questions, Okay, see, 10 questions of mathematics. What I mentioned when we were discussing, and someone asked me, I guess from you guys itself, that sir, what is the marks we can like think about for physics and physics PCM? What is the marks that we can consider that the subject will, these three set, this particular set will have? 10 questions of mathematics. So over here we have 10 into 1. So 10 marks. Now we have the physics questions. What I mentioned about the physics questions earlier, that physics questions, again, basics of 9th, 10th, 11th, and the questions which will come, only theoretical questions will be asked. There will be no, like, questions wherein you will be asked a numerical to be solved or so. So over here we have out of the following pairs which doesn't have an identical dimension. So these are the theoretical things or theoretical knowledge which you must have since you have just passed your 12th standard. Right. So over here now again we will count the number of questions which we have. So starting from 11 again, we have one, like, two, followed by v. So now, for example, see this 12, question number 12. On a stationary sailboat, if the air is blown from a fan attached to the boat, what happens? So if on a stationary sailboat, if air is blown from a fan attached to the boat, what happens to the boat? What do you think will happen? Moves in the opposite direction in which the air is blown, moves in the same direction in which the air is blown, does not move, spins around. What will happen?
Moves in opposite direction.
See, answer is definitely given. You can see that it will not move. Now we need to understand why it will not move. For example, I am sitting on a chair right now. Okay, let me take the camera, like stop sharing the screen, and the very good. So the fan which is over there, particularly first you need a very powerful fan to even move the board. But if the fan itself is placed on the board, I will tell you what the problem is happening over here. So you need to see this first of all. I hope you can see that this is a chair, right? This is the handle of the chair on which I am sitting. I hope you can see it, right?
Yes.
Me sitting, okay? I'm not lying, I'm sitting on this. Now, what will happen if I try to sit on this chair? My legs are like, up from the floor. My legs are not on the floor. This is a revolving chair. My legs are not on the floor. So what will happen, like, if I try to, or while sitting on the chair, if I try to pull this chair upwards, if I try to, like, put pressure and take this chair in upward direction, like hold it up from the floor, will it happen or not? If I try to put the pressure and, like, want to pull this chair up, will it happen or not?
No.
No. Why it will not happen? Because I am, like, I myself is sitting on this particular chair. So I am also a stationary body along with this, and I cannot pull myself up. The same kind of thing is happening with the fan which is on the board. When you are putting the air, it's kind of, as a whole, it's a unit, right? So it will not, like, fall off or so. So for example, when you are traveling in a train, let's assume, okay, so your body is also moving with the train, right? Or let's assume you're moving in flight, okay, in mid-air. Now let's assume this is your flight, this is the body of the flight, okay, this is the cavity. Now while on top, you suddenly felt that, let me today, like, try out something new. And this is the floor of the flight where you are in first, and you thought that I will suddenly jump. And at least for 1 second or 2 seconds, you are in mid-air. So you are in middle of air. You are not connected to any strings or so. Flight is moving. So what will happen? Will you be coming towards the backward direction? Or when you jump, you will fall on the same position where you are in?
Fall in the same
Same
position.
position, because you are also a part of that particular structure or body where you are in. Hence, nothing will happen. Okay, so these are some of the simple questions, simplest questions, I must tell. Basics should be clear for you to understand and answer these. So again, starting from 11, how many questions are there? We will see. I guess hardly 10 will be there. These are all questions related to physics. And when we move on, let's check. Okay. Right, where diagrams. Okay, see, not even 10, I guess, 17. Unit force will be equivalent to 17. Now, question number 18 is, which of the following where diagrams is a cue of the isometric view? And after that, in a three-dimensional figure starts. So 7 questions from physics. Total 17. 2 is physics. 7 questions into 1 marks each. So total 17 marks is there from your PCM. As I mentioned earlier, again, there will be no chemistry questions. Hardly there are any. Now we will compare this. This is 2022 I am talking about. We will compare it with 2023 and try to understand and see what are the basic differences also that we have seen. Okay. So now these are the sort of questions you get for 1 marks, followed by which we come to these sort of general questions like, in which is kind of like, analytical reasoning questions or so you can tell. So over here, what we have is that they have asked us to which of the following is the word diagram of a cube in an isometric view. What is an isometric view? So while I am discussing this paper, it doesn't mean that like, it is just a paper discussion or a pattern discussion. Make sure you have your notebooks, you have your pen. Anyone who is watching this video right now or afterwards, you take a note of these things, because this is what will help you out in your exam. No, there is no particular syllabus or like, it is not a chapter by chapter wherein these are the questions from this chapter we are discussing today, this chapter. Nothing happens like that. Whatever we are discussing, for example, right now I am discussing isometric view. You must take a note of it and understand what is isometric view. Tomorrow when a question is asked and there is a mentioning of this word, you must be able to relate that. So anyone have an idea of what is isometric view? Quickly. If you have any sort of knowledge regarding the same, any concept. Yeah?
It's a 3D view only of any structure.
What do you mean by isometric view? How you define isometric view? There is a particular, everything is a 3D view, but everything is not isometric, right? So there is a particular understanding that, okay, how this is isometric. Quickly. So there are two kinds of projections, okay? Orthographic projection and isometric projection. So what do I mean by isometric projection? When we are talking about isometric projection, it means that this is isometric view. You need to identify now. This is very like, kind of tricky, that how will you identify an isometric view also? So for example, let's assume a cube is over here. Okay. Let me see if I have a scale. I will draw it. So, okay, I need a compass as well. Let's leave the scale because I need a compass to draw on both. It is not possible right now. So in isometric view, let us clear the basics first. What is isometric view? Isometric view is nothing but, I guess screen is properly visible. So I will draw on screen itself. Over here, we have this particular, cube. I will try to show on this itself. If I draw a line like this is your baseline. Okay. Now, we will draw some arches. Oh, wait. Let me draw the hand. Right. So we have the arches over here. This is one. And so arches are, you can tell, angles. These are the two angles which are created. In isometric view from the baseline, so first of all, isometric view is this orthographic projection or isometric projection. All of these are like, what we are talking about here. All these things are 3D view only. Now, when we are talking about this view or projections, for isometric view from the baseline, these two sides will be creating 30-degree angle. Okay. There will be a creation of a 30-degree angle. I'm using the mouse, so please excuse the handwriting. There is a 30-degree angle that will be created. Now, if this is isometric, can you quickly assume and tell what view is this? What view is this? Can you tell? If this is isometric, what is this? Orthographic projection. So if this is the orthographic projection, what is the basic difference do you think in terms of angle? What is the basic difference do you guys think is there in terms of angle?
This one is, I guess, 45 degrees.
45 degree, absolutely right. So these are the things, this is how you need to understand and identify. No one can bring you with this with practice. This is your knowledge, your identification, your mental power by which you can identify and try to analyze things. And this is how you need to solve any exam. Without this, just by practicing mock test or going for any course, nothing can happen. Okay. So we need to know these things. Now coming back to option A is having a 45-degree angle. Just simply understand if this is a straight line, okay, and this is creating 90 degrees over here. So this is almost in the center. This is 45 degrees is what is an orthographic projection. Now the angle which will be created for both the sides of any sort of structures like this, they should be creating a 30-degree angle over here. And this is the isometric projection or view. This is the orthographic projection. Now, can you tell me which is the correct answer? Can you tell me quickly which is the correct answer? Option A, B, C, D.
Sir, option D also has that much angle on there.
Let's see, first of all, what is the correct answer? They have told option B, but you have option D. So what is the difference between option B and D? Via which we can eliminate one of the options and we can use our old basic rule of process of elimination. What is the difference between B and D that you can see? Quickly, we have to discuss the whole paper of 2 years. So tell me quickly, what is the difference visually that you can see? Yes? Are there any differences between B and D or no?
Yes, there is.
What is the difference? These vertices are merging at a certain point, wherein it gives you a sense or feel of that, okay, all the points are kind of joining at this position. Okay. Right? Am I right or wrong?
Yes.
So take this cube like this. Take this point as externally bulging. Okay. Take it like this and see that these points are merging. Now, if this is in a 30-degree angle, okay, if we are trying to take isometric view, now this is a basic understanding also you can tell, and you can, why I wanted to use the board with a compass and these things, because you can see it practically also that this is how it will look. Whenever you are drawing isometric view for a particular figure wherein all the sides are equal to each other, every side is equal to each other and created in the exact same or similar way, then these vertices for a cube will merge. So that means the same thing. When we are talking about all sides are equal, that means only a cube. So these two vertices will definitely merge, which is not happening over here in D. Hence, D is the wrong answer. So for D, what they have done is, bottom part, they have kept 30-degree angle. But when you take a straight line like this, when you take a straight line over here at this point, you will find that these angles are not creating 30 degrees. They are somewhat less than 30 degrees. Clear? Clear?
Yes,
fine. Let's proceed ahead. So now we are having, from question, after question number 17, we are having questions related to this reasoning, wherein again 1 marks questions only. Okay. So this is a 3-dimensional figure shown below. Some of the surfaces are shaded completely and some of the other are part. What is the percentage of area not shaded? So how will you determine this? What is the percentage of area not shaded?
with the help of the sides.
With the help of the sides. Tell me the calculation. Calculation, it will happen. There is no requirement of pen and paper. So first of all, need to remember very carefully. Don't do this mistake that, okay, in exam, you will feel like, oh, I have got a clue. See, all the surfaces which are not visible, they are all blank. Read this question carefully. From the area of visible surface, what is the percentage of area not shaded? Only the surfaces which are visible. Okay, so how many surfaces are visible? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, Wait, 3 over here, 3 over here, 6, 3 over here, 9, again 3 over here, 12, 3 over here, 15. Are 15 surfaces visible? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
Out of 15 surfaces visible, if these are all squares, so we can consider each side is x or 1 unit. So then, like, what is the surface area, visible surface area? Each out, if there are 15 surfaces, if each surface area is like one side of the square is every side of the square is single unit, then each surface area is 1 square unit, right? So then there are 15 surfaces, so 15 square unit. So if there is 15 square unit, now we need to identify how many surfaces are shaded. So we have over here, I will write down 15 SQ units, which is the total surface area. Total surface area. Now, when we are trying to identify shaded, 1 is shaded, 2 is shaded, 3 is shaded, and half of 2. So that makes 1, 4. And over here again, half of 2, 5. 5 surfaces are shaded. Out of 15, there is 5 which are only shaded. So what is the percentage then? 5 divided by your 15 into 100 is your percentage. That means 3. You divide 100 by 3, 33.33. Option A is the correct answer there. Okay, what they have given, option D is the correct answer. Is it shaded or not shaded, which they have asked? What is the percentage? Okay, sorry, not shaded. Yeah, so if 33.33 is the shaded area, then 66.67 is the non-shaded area. Got it? Any doubts? Quickly, any doubts?
Sir, in this, there are 12 visible surfaces, no? In
How come
this,
12 visible surfaces? So, quickly check.
what?
Surface 1, surface 2, surface 3, surface. So every square is having 3 surfaces. This is square number 1, square number 2, square number 3, square number 4, square number 5. How many visible surfaces? How many visible surfaces now? 15, right?
Yes, sir.
If there are 15 visible surfaces, I am considering each side of a square is a single unit. Then each surface area of each side is 1 square unit. 15 surfaces, hence 15 square units. Now, if I have to consider the shaded areas, 3 are completely shaded, I can see. And there are 4 surfaces which are partially shaded. Partially means half of it is shaded, very clear. So if half of it is shaded, then we can tell that 2 of them are fully shaded. If we join the halves, then total 5 surfaces are shaded. That means 33.33 is the percentage which is a shaded area if we calculate it. And then if non-shaded area is 66.67. These are very simple questions. There is no point to think over it, or there is no point in discussion. These are simple questions you will have to solve, and there is no time for you to think so much about these questions.
Sir, not got.
Yes?
Sir, not
Clear?
got it.
Got it, right? Okay. Sneha, Karthik, got it?
Yes,
Sneha,
sir.
Karthik, fine. Now see, we are continuing with the 1 mark question. I will not go into these questions again. So these are very simple questions.
Sir,
I'll just try to, yeah,
question
tell me.
one second.
Yes.
Same question once again you have done. Sir.
Question.
Repeat once again the answers. Sir.
Answer is given over here. This will be available in your study material. I have already discussed this 2 times. Did you understand this or not?
I got it, sir.
Yeah, then you just see the answer. If you understood the concept, then there is no point in again telling the answer is answer D 66.67. Fine. Let's proceed ahead now. So whichever question I am feeling it's kind of different in the comparison with the previous question, we are discussing that. So we are discussing that, we'll just seeing the types. So these are all reasoning questions. 3 is I am writing as analytical reasoning. So reasoning, we have started from question number 18 onwards. So our number 1 is 8. After 17 we have started. So you will count it at the end. So now it's telling that, and in center of a circle where the angle bisectors meet, the median of it. So these things, this is related to basic mathematics, basic geometry. wherein like, I guess in 7th standard or so, you are asked these sort of questions, 6th, 7th standard, wherein you have just learned something about the circle and you are able to ask in your like, final question paper that identity true or false. This is the kind of questions you get. So they are telling which is incorrect. So I will go to the answer figure itself. The median of any side of a triangle bisects the side of a bisects the side at right angle. What do you mean by median of a median of any side of a triangle?
The center point of that side.
The center point of that side. So it's telling the median of any side of a triangle bisects the side at right angle. Is it right or wrong?
Wrong.
So how wrong? Quickly give an explanation. Wrong, so it's already given in the answer, it's wrong. But how? Quickly give an explanation to that. Yes? Come up with something. Whatever you have, there can be several mistakes, but come up with your answer. How you think that it is wrong?
It will bisect a little below the line. It will not bisect on the side.
See, it's telling the median of any side of a triangle. So for example, if we have a triangle, I guess you can see this point. If we have a triangle like this, okay, and there is the median. So median is over here at this point. So it's telling that the median of any side of a triangle bisects the side at right angle. Right? So if we are considering like, that this is the median, and from here, if we are drawing the median, it will bisect at right angle. That will not happen. If it had to bisect at right angle, then it always had to be a perpendicular line drawn to the other point, and same goes for all the other ones. So this is always not true, because always we will not have the regular triangle which is there. We can have triangles wherein like, we will have like different shapes also. So there might be a triangle which looks like this. Now, if we need to find the median, that point, it is not very much possible that this will go like straight like this. That might be like, not at right angle. So there is a possibility, hence it is the wrong answer. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine. So now moving ahead to our next set of questions. These are again some sort of true false also. Question number 21 is also having marks 1. 22, 23, 24. See, all of these are very basic questions. Okay. Choose the misspelled word. These kind of questions are going to come. Do you find that any of these questions are hard? The sum of the measure of all the angles of a regular polygon is 2160 degrees. How many sides does the polygon have? Regular polygon, they are telling. How do you find the sides of a polygon? See, there is a very simple formula via which, like, you can find the sides of a polygon. And you should have done it actually in your school standard itself. Can you quickly tell me how to find the sum of all the angles of a regular polygon? Yes. See, for example, if you need to identify the all interior angles of a polygon, the very simple procedure is, I will write it down over here, n minus 2 into 180 degrees. Okay. This is the very simple formula where n is number of sides. Okay, it will not be visible, it will be a mirror image actually, but still n minus 2 into 180 degree is the procedure of calculating the sum of all the angles, interior angles of a regular polygon. Okay, you use this, you get the answer. It's pretty simple. So now we are continuing here with some of the one marks questions, wherein if we scroll below, okay, these are all simple, like, I will say these are all reasoning questions. Out of the 4 alternatives, choose one which can be substituted for the given sentence. to secure a boat by attaching it to an anchor. Okay, to one of the alternatives, choose out of the 4 alternatives, choose one which can be substitute for the given sentence. Okay, so to secure a boat, attaching it to an anchor. Now over here, this particular job or task which is happening over here is known as move. Now see these sort of questions. Now this is what, when I told you about the paper pattern, that it's not always, or it's not very much simple that like everyone will get 200% of the questions they can do it. For example, this one, it might be very much unfamiliar to you, and there is no such course, no such syllabus wherein these sort of general knowledge questions can be covered. No one knows that they are supposed somehow going to ask you about how to anchor a boat. What is that term called, right? So these sort of questions, at the end of the day, there will be 5, 6, 7, 8, wherein you need to think that okay, what is closest, or just whatever is coming to your mind at the end of the day before submitting the paper, just write it down, because NATA is not having any negative mark. So we will not wait, and we will move ahead. These are some of the simple questions. So now over here, what we have is somewhat related to, I will tell that these are, once we were doing some reasoning questions, which were again valid till question number 25. So starting from 17 till 25, it was 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25. 8 questions, right? So 8 questions, 8 into 1 marks. Now what we are starting, I will just tell you about it. This is related to your basic grammatical questions. So wherein you are asked something about your grammar, and you will be asked some questions related to that. So these are some of the grammatical questions which you might be asked during your exam. Okay, so we will move back to our paper. Yeah, so we are having some of the grammatical questions over here, and these are the sort of questions also that might be asked. And in grammatical questions, I am taking it as an option of grammar. And we will count the questions. So for last, we have counted till 25, and it's continuing. Synonym of the given word, extorted. Okay, after that, antonym of the word suspended. What is antonym of the word suspended? Someone is suspended, or something is paused, is also a kind of similar thing for suspended. So the other thing will be resume. Okay, so now for example, you don't know how you will understand. Pend, switch and suspend. They are not in none of the ways they are related. Turn on is not related. So thus we will leave those 2 options. Now there is resume and pend. Which one do you think is the most closest? Resume is somewhat still similar, that okay, someone has resumed to their job or something like that. So these are all grammatical questions which are continuing, and we have this paragraph type questions. So can anyone tell me, are there paragraph type questions in this year's paper? Some of you have already given. These type of paragraph questions were there or not?
They are there.
They are there. So
The
last year,
question was also there in this year's
just
question
give me
paper.
a second. I'm sorry for the interruption. Quickly go through this and just give me a second. So we have these sort of grammatical questions. Now in grammar, once we are talking about grammar, see, we have 1 marks questions. Okay, so I will write it down over here. These are basic grammar. Okay, so B grammar I am writing over here. We had 5 questions, 1 marks. Last year, these your composition type, a paragraph type questions. Why I am, so this comes under grammar, but why I am considering it as a separate sector? Your paragraph type questions, why I am considering it as a separate sector. The simple reason behind it is nothing but because last year also there were at least around 4 to 5 sets. After each of these paragraphs, you get a question. You get 4 questions for each paragraph. Okay, I will show you the marks division also right now. So there are 4 questions and at least 5 paragraphs. So total 20 paragraph type questions you get. What is the meaning of paragraph type or composition? These sort of composition questions. The very simple thing is you can see the answer from the paragraph and write it down. Nothing can be more easier than this. Let's go to the marks division. Marks division is 1 plus 1 plus 1 plus 1. Okay. There are 4 marks for this paragraph. Let us check the other paragraph. It is also a 1 mark. Okay. Okay. Now we are moving on to question number. Okay, wait. 35. Okay. I guess paragraph is digital art and all and all. Okay. Now 35 is a 1 mark question. Yes. 36 also somehow is a 1 mark question only in chopped up. 37 is also a 1 mark and 34 is also a question. Okay, fine. So for these paragraphs, we are having 1 mark questions. Okay. Now, I guess there were some paragraphs wherein the marks, inclusion was a bit more. We will check it out in our procedure. But as of now, if I consider it a 1 mark question, paragraph questions are all 1 mark question. Then we have 20 questions. So there are 20 marks. It will be something more. We will get to know it by the end of the paper. At least around 20 to 30 marks. So out of a 200 marks paper, if you can get this 30 marks just by seeing and writing the answer, what can be more than better? 30 marks you got from here. For PCM and all for these basic things, this basic physics and maths, as I have told you, I am assuming there are 17 marks, you are getting 15 from that. So 30 and 15 is 45 you have got. Analytical reasoning is 8 marks. Grammar will also be around 10. So 18. Out of 18, I have again considering you have got around again 2 marks is lost somewhere. You got around 17 marks. 16 marks. So 15 plus 15 is 30, 31. And over here for 71 you already got just by solving this, not even half of the paper. Something less than the half of the paper. Once you have solved, you have already qualified the cutoff. That also considering that you have done 4 to 5 questions wrong. You have cleared the cutoff marks. Now it's target for you to get a good score and reach that level wherein any college, any desirable college for you will be not will be not an option for you, but the colleges will have you as an option that where you will join. So let's move ahead and go and see the next part. So over here, this question is a bit different, hence I am going into this. Just give me a second. Digital art is an artistic work on practice that uses digital technology as a part of a creative work presentation process. One of the forms of digital art is pixel art, where images are built with the exclusive and intentional placement of pixels. Hence, pixels will be visible or they will be a matter of fact in that composition. Digital photo painting. Okay. So, what is digital photo painting? Permits photographs to be turned into enhancing. So, before reading, what I do suggest students is that read it once and just understand, okay, what the question is all about. These kind of things are there. Now, let's go to question. Let's not waste time over here. So, what is asked is, you need to identify what kind of composition is this. Okay. How this is what sort of composition is out of the 4 options which you have, what is this particular composition? That is what they are asking you for, right? So now we have over here your digital art. First of all, your one thing is your digital pixel art. Secondly, digital photo painting permits photographs to be turned into enchanting paintings produced in any style and design. So that means what? For example, me will be produced as kind of a cartoon image or something like that. Now we have digital collage as another form of art that is created by layering together virtual images from various sources into a new piece of art. Okay. Various sources of images or pictures collaborated together is known as a collage. Collage is the very first concept which will be pretty clear to you. I guess no one is there who have not seen a collage. Is there anyone who has not seen a collage? No, right? Fine. So let's proceed. Now the other one is a 3D painting is an art that allows the paint to texture 3D shapes. That is similar to 2D painting, but it requires knowledge of texturing and work with 3D assets also. From the 4 digital images, identify which category. 3D painting is very simple. An image wherein you have seen that kind of bulky look, wherein you are able to understand the depth somehow. 3D and collage is very simple. Now see where is 3D and where in which of these paintings there is 3D and there is collage. We are scrolling down. Okay, this is one. and we have this as 1. Okay, so this is your one particular picture. Okay, what do you think of this? How this composition has been formed? How is this composition formed? Yeah, quickly.
It's a collage.
It's a collage, because see, now over here in collage, generally when we talk about collage, the very first idea or concept which comes over here is pictures which will be just placed one after other. This is a collage, and see how this different kinds of things, birds, human figure, skull, butterfly, some sort of abstract concept is being tried to depict over here, and things are being combined and merged from different sectors to several different places. This is a collage. We are sorted. Now we have something as 3D. We need to identify which is 3D. Okay. So what do you think of this composition? Are you able to understand the depth, this composition, and the last girl which you have seen? I will reduce the size. This is one girl, and for the other girl, she is over here. What is the difference between these two? This first one, you can see it as a, like, it kinds of gives you a sense or a feel of that there is a depth to added to that, like, skin or so. Hence 3D. Clear?
Yes.
Now what we have left, digital photo painting and pixel art. What is this particular thing? How it has been formed? If we go, is this picture having a good clarity? No. So there is a sort of there is a number of pixels used which forms this composition, and the pixels are made prominent for you to be visible. This is pixel art. Now what we left with? One particular option, and that will go for this one. Clear? This is digital art.
Yes, sir.
Now we have these sort of paragraph type questions. Here again, see 1 marks questions followed by. So there are paragraph type questions. We have seen 3 sets of paragraphs. This is our 4 set of paragraphs. Okay. We have seen 4 sets of paragraphs. 43, 44, 45. 5 sets of paragraphs. Just see. Okay, question number 5 also I will go. What is not textual I am going, because so you can understand and identify. See, vernacular architecture, they are giving you a little bit of knowledge about vernacular architecture, how it is formed and what are the things involved into it. And right after that, they are like, talking about that, okay, the climate, sheltering needs, local people. This is just for you to identify and understand how this vernacular architecture is being achieved or made. Okay, some of the indigenous roofing material used in vernacular construction of the tropical and temperate climates are bamboo. It's a split and used as roof tiles, cane. What is the purpose? Grass thatch, coconut leaves. Now over here they have given you this, and they have asked you to identify what is being used over here mostly, right? So what is being cane used for? It's a flexible stem that provides opportunity for the design and shape of the roof. So where do you need a design and shape of the roof? On the interior part. So cane is the right answer for that. Okay. Now after that, if we move on, we have this one. This is the exterior visible structure. And over here, what is it comparing with? We can see mostly the use of grass thatch is a very old roofing method wherein the grass is densely packed and it is layered, like, and it is grass is densely packed and layered to the shade water away from the roof. Okay. So this grass is densely packed and, like, it is away from the roof. This is what we are talking about as in a grass thatch. And the other one is coconut leaves. So you can see these things are always visibly, like, identifiable for you. Over here in question number 49, we can see, like, there is no use of coconut leaves. So this will be option D. Now when we move on, we can see option A. Sorry, there is use of coconut leaves. I told it the other way around. Okay, now in the last one, you can see the use of bamboo clearly visible. So this is option A. This is how you need to identify. See, we have seen how many paragraphs we have seen? How many paragraphs did we see? 5 paragraphs, right? 4 questions each. Yeah, from approximately from 30 we counted, 30 or 31. So I guess 5. Yeah. So there are 20 marks questions only. Yeah, 20 marks. 20 marks which you can just see and write. There are 5 paragraphs into 4 questions. So total 20 questions into 1, it's 20 marks. 20 marks is easily what you can get. Now after that, we have a few questions related to architecture general knowledge. Okay. Now sixth sector is architectural GK. We will go through these questions wise only. This will help you out in your exam. So for example, first one is a wall constructed to resist the pressure of an earth filling is called. What do you mean by earth filling? First of all, wall constructed to resist the pressure of an earth filling. Okay. So earth filling means wherein your block, earth filling is actually mud, use of mud or soil to fill a particular spot or place. What do you think the answer can be? Bow wall, buttress, parapet wall, or retaining wall? Resist the pressure of an earth filling. If it's resisting, then it is retaining that particular item or so which is present over there in that surface. Whether you know the topic or not, with a simple knowledge or with a simple thinking, you can understand and answer this question. Which of the following is not a man-made structure? Parthenon, cave, dolmen, vaults. You don't know the answer. How will you answer this question? You have no idea what is Parthenon. Though I have discussed Greek architecture, we have discussed the timeline, but still let's assume you don't know what is Parthenon, what is cave, what is dolmen, what is vault. Any of these things you don't know. Now you can unmute yourself, guys. I intentionally ask that take your unmuting permission because I guess Shakti's mic somehow got unmuted. Please mute yourself once you unmute so that there is no background noise coming. So which of these following is not a man-made structure? Yes?
Parthenon will be the right answer, I guess.
Yes,
I don't
sir.
understand how, which of these following is not a man-made structure?
Sir,
Are you
cave.
out of your mind? Yeah?
Cave.
Cave. It's not a man-made structure, not a man-made structure. Not a man-made structure. Listen to this carefully. Parthenon is a building built by man. Dolmen is one of the parts of the building. Walls is also one of a part of a church. Or normally in Greek architecture, we this Romanesque architecture we have seen. So these are all parts of a structure or so which are built by man, terminalized by these terminologies have been given by man. Cave is something which is naturally created. Man went and stayed in there. So cave is the right answer. It's not a man-made structure. Don't do mistakes in any of these questions. Then no one can get you 150, 160 in NATA. These are the places, these are the points where you need to understand and do a correct answer to these. Easily you can get. Now definitely I understand there is a change in question pattern every year. Some year it's hard, some year it's easy. But still scoring at least 120 or 130 is never that hard task. Okay. Anyways, which of the following is a pure columnar and pyramidal structure? So these are some of the things where you need to, for example, this one. Okay, this is the Stonehenge, UK. Now, how will you understand this? What they are telling is a pure columnar and teraweight structure. Have we discussed this in class or not? When we were discussing timeline of architecture. I have shown you that there is column, there is lintel, considering it with if there is a window, how it will be there.
Yes.
So that they are telling pure columnar and teraweight structure. Teraweight structure. So that means only having these two things in particular, which are pretty prominent. That is like a pure means that is what it's having. When I am talking about pure gold, that means 24 karat gold, no impurities. With that gold, you cannot form jewelry. Same way, Stonehenge present UK, you might not be knowing, but you can relate it with the structure just with a bit of general knowledge and trying to analyze the thing, what answer it can be. So these are all 2 marks question which have started from question number 51. So these all things continue. This paper will be shared in your study material section in the app. Please make sure you check it out and go through this whole paper. What are the answers are marked over here. Eiffel Tower is a structure built with. What do you think Eiffel Tower is built with? Yes. Concrete, timber, steel, masonry.
Steel.
Steel. Definitely steel. There is no question of like, concrete. Have you seen in Eiffel Tower, there is bricks, there is cement. Is there timber? Timber means like, it's a form of wood. Timber wood is one of the materials which is used in like, not in our like Asian housing or so, not at least in India or so, but mostly outside or some of like, structures which is made of wood or so, there it's used. Is there wood? No. Is there masonry? No. So what is left? Steel, and steel is visibly seen. If there is something contrasting with steel, then that time you need to use your brain and see, okay, you need to think a lot about it. If there was iron and steel, though it will not happen, but if it was there, then it was confusing. Otherwise, it's very simple. Ellora caves are situated near Ajmer, Jaipur, Aurangabad, Patna.
Options.
Options are in front of you.
Options.
Ajmer. Yeah, option
C.
Option C. Okay. So let's see the answer first of all. Option C, Aurangabad. Correct answer. Now we have seen till 55, starting from 51. That means 5 questions are having 2 marks. Followed by again we are having 1 marks question. So this is how questions will be jumbled up. Okay. Now see over here, something came from Oscar Awards also. These are some general questions. Explore to sunlight helps a person improve his health because what do you think is the answer? You don't know anything. The infrared kills bacteria in the body. The ultraviolet ray converts skin oil into vitamin D. I hope you have heard about that. From sunlight, you get some sort of vitamin. You might not remember A, B, C, D, which one is it? But I guess you have heard at least that you get vitamin from sunlight.
Yes.
So you compare it and you give the answer. Then you compare that, okay, can other options be an answer? Resistant power increases. It is not like, there is nothing related to sunlight where resistant power increases. If that is the case, then people would have like, stayed under sunlight. The people who are farming, they would be more resistant. And people who are sitting at home in an office job, they would not have any kind of resistance. The pigment cell in the skin gets stimulated and produce a healthy tan. Never. Otherwise, there wouldn't have been no like, invention of sunscreen. Coming to the very first one, the infrared lights kills bacteria in the body. There is no such proof of that. Yeah, there was some sort of blank concepts which came up during COVID, but nothing was scientifically proven. Those were absolutely wrong. So you got your answer. Now, these are the things which you need to. What is the oldest architectural school in India?
JJ College.
JJ College. Anyone and everyone should know this. JJ College of Architecture in Mumbai is the oldest school or college in India. See, there are now 5 questions were of 2 marks. Again, it has started off 1 mark. There are questions related to, some of the questions are related to things or festivals which are celebrated. Now, people cannot divide, or there cannot be any such sectors or discriminations of like, differentiation of sectors wherein they will discuss about festival or all these things. These are things, there are few set of things which you need to identify and you need to answer from your general knowledge of what you have seen. This is something, so these questions, these particular set of questions are made in that way only, wherein no set of codes will help you out. But yeah, in as a whole general discussion, for example, today we are discussing this. So once I have discussed this, once we have discussed some other puja or the other festivals also, you have a pretty good knowledge in your mind just at the back of your head. When questions comes, you can relate. Your consciousness will tell you that, okay, this is what is the answer. You mark it out, come, we will see then what is the right answer. This is how you are supposed to do and go ahead with these set of questions and do it. So, okay, how many major tectonic plates does the Earth have? This is a very simple question. 7, 4, 5, 3. How many?
7.
Absolutely right. 7 is the right answer. So now we move on and see till question number 62. Again, have 1 mark. So there is a combination of 1 and 2 marks questions only. Hardly there is a 3 marks question in these sectors. I don't think even there is. But 3 marks questions where they will come in the memory based. For memory based questions, what we are going to do, this will be either a separate class or so. For students who are over here in the batch, this is information to them. We will be having a sector or a session of classes wherein you will be given this, like this will, we will have this test on a Zoom call itself. You will be shown 30 seconds, a picture for 30 seconds. That I know there is a, for this time, it's 45 seconds time that you get to see a composition. But over here we will practice it in a 30-second format only. Because once you see it for 30 seconds, 45 seconds becomes easier for you. If you play a ball which is coming at 120 km/h at a speed, you can easily play the ball which is coming towards you at 80. But definitely after practicing 5 sets, so there are total 5 questions, 5 pictures in each set, 10 questions. Once we practice same kind, those kind of questions, at least 5 sets. So that means we have practiced 50 questions. Then next two sets we will practice in 45 seconds. And this will improve your precision in that. Why we have not started till now? Because this is something which if I start and complete it, okay, if I consider it, see, this is a part of the syllabus. Let's complete it in the very first or beginning of the month or somewhere in between. Then your brain or your activity wise, you will not remember it that way. Why do you need to do a warm up before a spin? Or why there is a regular practice required just before the sports day which is coming up? The very simple reason is because the day before which you practice more, that will help you to increase your energy and increase your stamina. Same way we will start this at least 4 days before the exam, and we will go for this practice in an extra session. And when you go for the exam now, you will be confident that I have practiced several questions just now, so it will be easier for me to answer. So these are the questions, these are the kind of questions reasoning wise also you will get. Okay. For example, see, again, this is coming to a reasoning questions only. Okay. So what has been told over here? Identify the ideal sectional diagram if the person has to reach from 0 level to, okay, question has been cut. 0 level to something, assuming, I guess it's a first level. Assuming the stairs are designed with the standard rise of 150 mm. 150 mm standard rise means each thick, like this height of each stair is 150 mm. That means how much is 150 mm in meter? 150 millimeter, how much is it in meter? First of all, let's come to centimeter. How much is 150 mm in centimeter? Quickly tell.
15.
15 centimeter. So if it's 15 centimeter, that means you need to have an idea. The small plastic scale which you get, that is the rise of each stair. Now, anyways, assuming from ground level they are going to a 1 level, what is the usual height you will go for? Okay, see, options are a bit cut. I am I shouldn't, I guess. Fine, anyways. So this is 0 meter to 1.5 meters. Okay, they are going up 1.5 meter at a height. So the location or the height they are rising is 1.5 meter. So what do you think if each of these staircases are 15 centimeter? First of all, 1.5 meter means how many centimeter?
150. 15 centimeter.
150 centimeter, right? 1.5 meter is 150 centimeter.
Yeah.
So 150 centimeter, and you have rise of each stair is 15. How many stairs will be there then? Each stair is 15, total is 150. Total height is 150. How many stairs are required?
15.
15 is the height of each staircase. Total is 150. 10 stairs. Divide 150 by 15. This is a very simple calculation. Don't do mistakes over here in these questions. There is no scope of making any mistakes, guys. Please make sure. Anyone watching this class live, anyone over here, there is no scope in making mistakes. 150 mm. So just the question is given in this way so that you make a mistake in calculation. 150 mm means 1.5 15 centimeter is the height of each staircase. Total height of the position where you are reaching is 150 centimeter. 10 staircases are required. Question number A is way more. Question number B, how many are there? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not possible. Cancelled out. Out of D and C, we need to see quickly. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Not possible. BC is the answer. Now we will count 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Clear? Clear or not? Few things need to identify visually. Over here, as soon as you see, way more stairs. Over here, as soon as you see, way less stairs. This is visual impression should be this. So this is how you need to identify, and the answering of the question should be very you should be very clear. Now, as I have mentioned, again, I am telling the time that you save in these questions, you will need it for counting figures. You will need it for a question where you are stuck. So now, till now, what we have seen, I have written over here till architectural GK, and till architectural GK, we are covering out at least around 80 to 90 marks paper, wherein as easily you can score 75 or so, and that you clear the cutoff easily. Okay, considering 4-5 questions you are making wrong. Now, after that, also any of these questions, I tell it always, if you are inclined towards engineering, it's well and good. Otherwise, if you feel that, okay, no, architecture is the one I want to go for and I am a creative person, these things or these questions which you really get are not at all hard like an engineering paper, where there are courses for 2 years, 3 years, not at all required. 5 or 6 months before your exam is more than enough. So find out the ball from the given, okay, find the odd ball out from the given image below from the given option of ball 1, 2, 3, and 4. How do you identify the odd one? Quickly. You have just 10 seconds to answer this question. Which is the odd one out?
The third one.
Third one. How third one? How third one? What is the answer to that?
The 2 circles are quite huge in comparison to other 3 circles.
The eyes which are there, the eyes of the balls, let's assume this is the mouth and these are the eyes in that, this bowling ball. So over here, these are the 2 eyes, whereas there is a huge dissimilarity between the size of the ones. Now you can consider it the other way around as well. Or let's take us in that way only, because all the mouths are the same. So over here in one of the eyes is much bigger. Okay. See, now over here what they have told, from the given font, how many alphabets or letters can be divided as equal parts along both vertical and horizontal axis. That means mirror image and water image of the divided as equal parts they are telling. So that means mirror image and water image of half of the this particular alphabet will be equally the same in however direction or way you look it. So if I am having a horizontal line, it looks the same. If I am having a vertical line, it doesn't look the same. For B, no. C, no. D, in this way it looks the same. Horizontally, it doesn't look the same. E, it looks the same in this, not. F, no. Over here, G, no. H is H coming under this category? Yes or no? Quickly. Yes. Next one, I, possible. J, not possible. K, not possible. L, not possible. M, possible? No. N, is it possible? For N, is it possible?
No.
Clearly look and tell me. N, is it possible?
No.
Okay, let's continue. Can O is possible? I will come back. Is O is possible?
Yes.
O is possible. P, no. Q, no. R, no. S, is S possible?
No.
T, no. U,
No.
no. V, no.
No.
W, X,
Yes.
yes. Y,
No.
Z.
No.
So how many? X, O, after that I, H, 4. Which is the correct answer? Option C, 4. Now why I hold it on N and why I hold it on S? Just to make sure you are not making a mistake in your understanding. What will happen in S and O, I will tell. What usually or some of the time how students do a mistake in any of these.
It's the like inverted image coming on the
Yeah,
other side.
absolutely. So they kind of take it like, okay, see, this is how if I am dividing. So like, the formation which you get over here, it's kind of similar in the inverted way, upside down. So you like students are like, oh, it looks similar. And if I divide it in the same way from top to bottom, it kind of again looks like similar and they consider it as an option. And now see if I am considering these N and S, okay, for S also is the same thing. See, you see in this way, it will be like, coming, you will get that feel. But once you consider these two things, there is an option as 6, very cleverly given. Then you will go and mark out option 6, which is the wrong answer. So don't do these mistakes and you can easily score. Okay, now we will again move ahead with foremost our very important part, which we have taken the maximum amount of classes to be discussed. We have discussed regarding our foremost important, or like our design principle, visual principles also. What they have told, foremost important appropriate principles. They have not mentioned visual or design. Marks will be awarded only if all the answers are right. I get these questions are having 3 marks. So okay, options are they have given how many? C, D, E, 5 options, and after that 1, 2, 3, 4, 9 options they have given. So what do you see in this? Okay, I will reduce the size. Don't look at the answer figure. Without looking at the answer figure, tell me. What do you see in this? First of all, quickly.
Depth.
There is depth. Okay. What are the options we have over here? Balance, depth, symmetry, repetition, parallelism, focal point, something as foreshortening, contrast, fluidity. Okay, so now we need to go step by step, which is more dominant and very much prominent. So we can see depth clearly. Is there contrast?
Yes.
Is there contrast? Absolutely, there is a use of contrast. So we have got B and H. We don't know. We really don't know about this fluidity, foreshortening. These are very absurd terms which are often not often find. It is very much hard to find. We have focal point. We have parallelism. We have repetition. We have balance, symmetry. Okay, if there is a depth and the way it is moving, okay, in a spiral format, is there a central focal point?
Yes, focal point
There is
and
a focal point. There is a focal point. So we will consider F. Okay, so out of the options, now we have depth, that is B. We have H. We have F. B, H, F, we already have it. Okay. Now, what are the other options that it can be? We can see here that out of B, H, F, we have E and D as well. So what is E? E is parallelism. What is D? D is repetition. Repetition and parallelism are now, okay, they have asked you to identify what I told earlier during our classes, 4 appropriate principles. But how many answers they have given over here?
5.
5. Why they have given this? To make it easier for the students. If you tell what I told the very first day, few things, though we discussed that, okay, these are the design principles, these are the visual principles, though I give you several explanations, which is never possible in an offline class, frankly speaking, because I need to show you practical life examples also. There are certain things at a certain position, some few things become quite subjective. This paper is made by a human being. He or she has taken this picture from somewhere or might have created. Then they have decided what are the principles that is the right answer. And it often becomes very subjective. At some point, at least for 10% of questions, it can be, wherein there is a possibility that what is correct for you is not correct for the other person. But both are kind of going for the composition. Hence, there are 5 options given. You mark out any 4 out of these 5, you will be given the right answer. Or you will be awarded the full marks. Okay, this is how we are supposed to proceed, or how we are supposed to go ahead for these questions. What is more dominant over what? Now see, again, we have a next question. 4 important visual principles. I will go below and you guys will tell me what are the ones. Quickly. What is seen by you are the important principles over here. What do you see?
Contrast,
What else?
figure and ground,
Figure and ground. Very, very dominant. These particular figures dominate figure and ground. Okay.
asymmetry,
Okay. What else?
and
Don't look at the answer.
you showed them now.
Oh, I only praised it. Sorry. See, very first thing, we will go. So see, I'm opening the answer now, and let's go step by step. What is dominant over here? As a whole, what you can see, there are solids. Yes or no?
Yes.
So what we will do is, we will, in our rough paper or back at our mind, we will try to mark out these things. Okay. Solids can be answered. First thing. Secondly, is there contrast? Yes, huge amount of contrast. Light and shadow effect creates contrast. Right? We have discussed this. So contrast can be answered. Is there asymmetry? There is it is a symmetrical composition. One side of the composition is giving a sense or feel of more weightage in comparison with the right hand side or the left hand side. Students who are watching this class on live on our YouTube channel, very much knowledge for you, which like I just spoke with one student yesterday. I guess she called us and she was trying to ask, like, how are the classes and all conveyed over here. And I just asked her, like, at this point of time, what is the knowledge you have, just to test that, and how you are prepared. I just asked her a few questions. And for her, the doubts are the question, like concept of this design principles were not pretty clear. So for symmetrical and asymmetrical composition, these are the things which comes under balance. There is nothing like form balance, shape balance, color balance, nothing like that. Balance as a design principle, we have three segments: symmetrical, asymmetrical, and radial. Radial balance questions hardly comes, or there is, like, very rare when there is an inclusion of this particular thing as radial. Out of symmetrical and asymmetrical, how you will identify if it is symmetrical or asymmetrical? Symmetrical balance necessarily doesn't mean that, first of all, to identify balance in any composition, you will have to consider either a vertical axis, horizontal axis, or a diagonal axis. Imaginary axis will be present, wherein on both sides of the composition, you will be able to see either symmetrical or asymmetrical balance. Now, for example, in this composition, seeing this composition, what look and feel you get? If there is a horizontal line, can you identify any sort of balance over here? That is not dominant. So, for example, you are having a scenery, you are having a pahar, like, kind of thing, hill with water, a water body, and it is getting reflected. Over here, the diagonal line is less dominant. Diagonal axis is less dominant in comparison with your not diagonal, horizontal, vertical line is less dominant in comparison with the horizontal line. Hence, you will take that axis and you will compare. Over here, vertical axis is dominant. We took it and we try to understand which side of the composition is having more weight. Right side of the composition, the figure is shifted and it gives a look and feel like it's more heavier. Hence, it is asymmetrical balance. Now, we need to identify and understand this very simple fact: symmetrical and asymmetrical doesn't mean that it's a mirror image or it's not a mirror image. In that way, you cannot find any symmetrical balance in throughout any composition. So please understand that. Now, the second part of it is when you are identifying four important visual principles or important principles in any of these compositions like this in your exam, make sure you know and remember this, that over here you need to identify four important. There might be something or some other option which will give you a sense or feel like, okay, this might be possible, but I am not pretty sure. Over there, you need to know and need to be very clear to you what is dominant over what. I will identify those two. Okay. So, sorry. Figure and ground, balance, distortion, rhythm, static, dynamic. Okay.
The
Now,
figure and ground is not there in the option.
why I came to that, or why I told you figure and ground, is what we have discussed about figure and ground. When you need to see figure and ground are, first of all, what we have studied about figure and ground. Okay. I will, give me a second. Just hold on a second, please. We have discussed it in extended principles. Extended design principles section, we have discussed it. Principle of design in architecture, extended format, we have discussed it, that what are the things involved. Let me open the PDF. So we need to talk about figure and ground, right? Now we will go a bit up and see. I'm just trying to open that page where there is figure and ground. Give me a second. Okay. I have got that page of figure and ground. Now in figure and ground, what is there? Figure and ground perception refers to the tendency of the visual system to simplify a scene into the main object that we are looking at the figure, and everything else that forms the background or ground. Okay. So for example, let me show. Okay, I guess I'm being redirected to this particular screen. Wait, let me go back to our screen. Can you see this particular page which I'm showing now on screen?
Yes.
What is dominant over here? We have several objects, so we have different things happening. But this like chimpanzee kind of thing or gorilla, along with right hand side a tigress or so, is what is being dominant, and these two figures are being pulled up, right? So this is what, or when we are talking about figure and ground, rest all things will be kind of suppressed. So this is what we need to understand. This is all about figure and ground. Okay. Which over here now when we look, usually students will think it as, okay, there is a huge sense of the structural shape or sense being used over here. Hence there is figure and ground. But now, okay, what I told right now before, coming to this options, that you might feel that few things can be there, but you need to see what is more dominant over who. So we have seen solid is there, contrast is there, asymmetry is there. These are pretty dominant, right? Now figure and ground can be an option. Now coming to balance, balance is not there, distortion is not there. Rhythm, is rhythm possible? No, there is no rhythm. Is it static or dynamic? Is it static or dynamic?
Dynamic means like it has some movement in it.
The sense of the, for example, a lion is chasing a deer. Dynamic. Over here, what is happening? Things are static. One is sitting on top of each other. So we are getting the feel as static. So static is an option. Now see, figure and ground and balance, we were kind of inclined towards it. Why balance also? I skipped it because over here we have already selected asymmetry. Now, if I have asymmetry and balance in one single composition, I should be in a doubt that, okay, what does the balance means? Because when we talk about balance, the very simple thing which will come out at the back of our mind is symmetrical balance or stabilizing thing. Now, when we have identified static, I can tell that, okay, balance is there. But we are seeing that solid, contrast, asymmetry, these are the very simple three things that I am getting. So balance, figure and ground and static, out of which static is very dominant. I can see as a whole, the composition itself shows us it's static, which is a very simple dominant feature. So I will go with static. Clear?
Yes.
Fine. So we will try to quickly go for the next set of questions or so. What are they or where are they? Fine. So we have these sort of design principle questions. Make sure this paper will be shared to you guys in the app right now after the class. Check it out. Go through each and every question. Try to solve. Just don't go through it like a newspaper. Try to solve each of these questions right now, today itself, before your 6 p.m. class, and come whatever doubts you have, discuss it in that class by the end of that class. Okay. So what identify the zones which are pedestrian in the given street view? Which are the zones do you think? So over here, what do you see? First of all, I have already explained over here. First of all, tell me, what do you see in this composition? What are the two sets of compositions you see?
The this one is the, what is that called?
Upper one,
Plant
bottom
elevation and section.
term
The
them as
upper
upper
one
one,
is
bottom one.
section.
Upper one is what?
Right.
Upper one is what?
Sectional view.
Wait, upper one is?
Sectional view.
Bottom one is?
Plan.
Bottom one is plan. Absolutely right. Plan or plan, whatever. Upper one, you are telling it sectional view. Is it really a sectional view?
No. Sorry, it's elevation.
How come it's the elevation now again? You told
Because
just now
it's
it's sectional view.
the side view. Sectional view would be like if we cut it in the half.
See, don't make a mistake over here. It's actually kind of a sectional view itself. If it was a like, let's talk about or let's assume like, if this is in this particular thing, if it's an elevation or so, what I have told you guys about. In case of elevation, now this is a road where buses is running. This particular tree and all is there. It's really hard to identify whether it's an elevation or a section, because if we are talking about it as a section, if it's a house, it's pretty much easy to understand. Over here, we are having this particular spot where we are even shown the section like, where the tree is stuck. So something below the ground or so. And there has been lines drawn also. So I will consider it as a section, or let's assume might be an elevation also, but I will consider it here as a section itself. From this section, this plan has been derived. Okay. Now, they are telling which are the pedestrian zones. So which one is the pedestrian zone, do you think?
Q and S.
Q and
S.
Q and S. Okay.
P is the
Which are the options? P and S, Q and S, P and T, Q and T.
Where is T?
Okay, T is only cut off. Fine.
Okay, I guess it's the same as P on the other side of it.
P on the other hand side. Absolutely. First of all, Karthik told Q and S. Q and S, is it anyhow
No, they
possible?
are breaking the rules. They are walking on the road.
It's a cycling zone. In India, we don't have that. But in other countries also, there is a bicycle lane or a cycle lane which is always there. So this is a cycle lane that is absolutely clearly visible to you. So if it's a cycle lane, like, how can it be like, a pedestrian zone? What is there in P? T is the same thing on that side. So P and T is the correct answer. Now, see, let's assume somehow a wrong question has been given to you like this, like, by mistake, wherein you are not able to see the other section. Like I'm talking about the T section. Somehow the picture has been misprinted on your paper like this. You see P and S. P and S, not possible. You see Q and S, not possible. P and T, Q and T. P is definitely, now with P, you can see S and T. You cannot see T. So you will have to assume that then T is definitely there, which is something similar. And it is a pedestrian zone. Considering that, what I can see is not a pedestrian zone as in the other option. Clear?
Yes, sir.
Fine. Fine. So we will move ahead. Okay. Identify the correct pair. Charles Korea, IIM Bangalore. Louis I. Khan, IIM Ahmedabad. Lee Karbizer, IIM Bangalore. BB Doshi, IIM Ahmedabad.
This one I think I know.
Answer is given. See, Louis Khan, IIM Ahmedabad. Now, what happened is that in the other options, all the IIM, what has been designed also, it has been a wrong architect names has been given. Now, only in this IIM Ahmedabad one, Louis Van Khan is the correct answer. Hence it is. Now, see over here, again, I must mention, we are discussing this today. Might be tomorrow there is a certain structure which we haven't discussed, right? Though we have several structure, architect and their structures is one thing. I guess I will be sharing you guys a PDF regarding the same as well. So though we have discussed those sort of structures, so those set of structures, there might be something which we definitely can miss out or which we have never seen. In that case, that is the question where you will have to fill, like this is a fact I am talking about. There is nothing like, that, okay, sir is telling something depend on your luck. How when a question luck comes, what about practice? There are certain things in our life or on this paper definitely, wherein we will have to depend on luck. We never know what is going to come. So it's very, very hard or not at all possible at some point to even determine that, okay, this is the structure exactly it's going to come. We can talk about 90-95% of the paper what is going to come, but there will be 5 or 10% left which will be out of the box. For these questions, wait till the end, then you just mark out the answer which you feel is the correct one without any kind of hesitation. Just mark out something. So if it is right, you get the correct, if it is right, you get the marks, or if the question is wrong, you get the credit marks. Because if question is wrong and you have not marked the answer, everyone will be credited marks if they have right, whatever answers they have marked. But if you have not gone for that question, you will not be awarded. So the question is wrong. Okay, now over here we move on. Okay, very good building. Name of this building. Name of this building quickly. Find out name of this building. I'm giving you 15 seconds time. Quickly find out the name of this building. This is a very beautifully built building by one of the very famous architects. And the architect's specialty is to make structures which will go in accordance with the nature. This is the specialty of the architect, and hence I will tell you also something about this particular structure. And definitely, whichever college you study in, these are some of the buildings which you will definitely get. Any idea name of the building? Yes or no? Okay, the name of this structure is the Falling Waters, built by architect Frank Lloyd Wright. Okay, remember this. You should see this. You should remember. Architect Frank Lloyd Wright, the Falling Waters. The falling water is definitely a representation. This is built near the fountain. So how the water is falling, that is definitely in accordance with the structure. So how the structure has been arranged, the different one, like, in this direction. So every part of the structure is perpendicular to each other. So it's kind of like it came like this water, then again it's falling like this, again it's coming like this. This is the orientation of the structure. And as a whole, when you go in front of it and see the structure, it will be a bit more clear. Or when we see a better clarity image, it will be a bit clear. It is an orientation of how the water from a fountain falls. A natural, fountain, it falls. So the name of the structure is what?
Falling water.
The Falling Waters, built by architect Frank Lloyd Wright. Very famous structure and very famous architect as well. Will be definitely a topic of or a subject of study in your college, wherever you join. Okay. We will move on to this next structure. They are telling which is the logo, or which identify the logo from the image given below. Quickly, any idea or anything? If you have seen, what you can relate it to? You'll have to look for all these things back at your mind. So there are two options. First of all, there is two SII. This is given. Okay. So what do you think can be the answer? If you don't know what is the answer,
A.
Sometimes you need to relate it, right? So SII, if some logo is made, for example, in Design Teenage, our institute's logo. So why the D and the T is symbolized? So there are two sets of logos. One is pictorial logo, and the another set of logo is textual logo, wherein initial letters or so is being used as in is being used inside the logo for the this pictorial depiction. So for example, in Hamleys, this thing store, or let's assume in Baskin Robbins ice cream, very famous, B and R is being highlighted. This is a textual highlight of that particular logo. For the logo where there is a pictorial identification, okay, let's assume Nike. You see this symbol, this right kind of symbol, it's a pictorial representation. Over here, where you have a textual representation, then definitely you should understand that when it has to do something or the other, right? It has to do something or the other with your whatever names are being shown or written over here. So Science Institute is one, vaccine manufacturer is one, central government department. Social Services Institute, Sciences Institute. Now, coming to the fact, vaccine and central government is starting with V and C. Not relatable, right? Strike out. You don't know the answer. How to answer I am talking about. SSI can be something, Social Science Institute. SI is something. So over here we have SII. Anyhow, we don't have the depiction of the other I, but we will not then, like, we need to consider then, like, for the other one, it can be a SSI or 2S will be there, which is missing. So in our instinct will give us a suggestion, go for option A. And that is a wrong answer over here at this very point. Now, over here, then how to identify which is the right answer? Frankly speaking, or coming to the fact, it's not at all possible. So why I discussed this whole set of thing, or why we came to this point of discussion, that if this was possible, that okay, I will identify this, there is a pictorial form of logo. These things are there. These are the point of discussions which we have as a topic in several places also. But over here, this thing is not helping us out at the end of the day. Might be you will feel this and go for it, mark it out. There is no harm in doing that if you don't know the answer. But the correct answer might differ and might not relate anything with that. So in that case, there is a huge chance that your answer will be wrong. And there is no shame or no, like, feelings should be there that, okay, I did a wrong answer. Because there is no student in all these years for the past hundreds of years, or just from the date from where NATA has started, no one has scored 200 out of 200. It's never possible. Simple reason why it's never possible is because of this. So these kind of things will be there where mistakes are very natural. Hence, what we need to do, we need to improve our, like, scope of getting marks in the section where the less number of, or like, less chances of making a mistake is there. Fine. Okay, and moreover, I'm not telling any one of you that you go and remember this at the back of your mind. Not at all necessary. So we are talking about the necessity and to get the maximum marks. We will not put any sort of garbage, frankly speaking, any sort of rubbish which will not help us out. We cannot memorize thousands of logos, thousands of questions for, like, or before our exam and go for the exam. Never possible. So there is no necessity for this particular thing to be there. Few things are there which are quite famous. Those things you can remember just to have it in terms of a general knowledge questions. Clear? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Identify the image of the signboard. Okay. Keep left, roundabout, a one-way entry. Keep left is always a symbol like you will be shown like this and straight. That is stay on the left side. Roundabout is a U-turn. So these are actually, this is a term from American English. Roundabout in our term, it's U-turn. U-turn is a U kind of symbol. One-way entry is again like, something, a symbol which I will definitely tell that this kind of thing will not be there. I don't know the symbol of one-way entry. Okay, hardly seen it in Indian roads, frankly speaking. But definitely in one-way entry, there will be not two symbols, will not be there. This can be an option for highway division, where, like, now when you see that, okay, highway division can be an answer, you are trying to relate. And over here, see, we are correct. So this is how we need to proceed further. And we will be answering the questions where we don't know exactly what it can be, or we have no clue about that question. What about other people? Karthik, did you get it? Karthik, did you get it? Yes or no? Karthik, are you there? Fine.
Yes, sir.
And did you get it, that how we will go ahead and what we will solve or so? Yes or no? Tell me.
Yes, sir.
Fine. Let's proceed ahead with the next set of questions. So this paper, sorry, which we are discussing right now is from our last year. These were the sets. We are discussing this right now, finishing it up, trying to understand the set of questions and the division of the questions. Paper pattern. Today from evening 6 o'clock. Again, that class will also be live. Students watching this class is a class live on YouTube right now. Or if you're watching this class as a playback also in this time period, in this gap, make sure you join us for this live class, wherein we will discuss NATA 2023, this our first attempt paper, and how we will proceed for our second attempt. What are the inclusions or what are the takes we can take away from our first attempt paper, how it is different from last year's or so. Join the 6 p.m. session. It will be a very interesting session for your paper discussion also. Meantime, you can download the app. Link is in description. And for any help, connect us over the number. Our contact number is also in the description box. Okay. Coming to the fact now. So what we were discussing is that choose the correct flight if you have to reach the country. If you have to reach the country. Acha, okay. If you have to reach the country, Netherlands. Okay, I was missing that one. That's why I was searching for. So Eiffel Tower. This one is Statue of Liberty. This is what name of this structure? I guess I have told you guys about this name. Quickly, what is the name of this structure?
Pisa Tower.
Leaning Tower of Pisa. Last one. Last one. I also don't have any. Fine. So we have Paris, one over here. Is Paris located in Netherlands?
No.
Okay. Is your this thing Statue of Unity located in Netherlands? No. Two options are gone. Now we will find out which are the two. We will go in a backward direction. Which are the two lines that leading to these flights? This is going. Option 4 is the wrong answer for this one. Option 2 is the wrong answer. 2 and 4 are wrong. Now out of 1 and 3, we need to identify. So first of all, Leaning Tower of Pisa. Where is Pisa located? Is Pisa located in Netherlands?
No.
No. So what we have left with then? What we have left with then?
The last option.
The last option. But I am showing you the answer. See it now. Leaning Tower of Pisa is located in Netherlands or not? First of all, tell me that. See, it's written over here as option C, right? So definitely, like, I guess Pisa is located in Netherlands.
Oh, I didn't see that. I was zooming in this direction.
So right now you see, so right, can you tell me Leaning Tower of Pisa is located in Netherlands or not? See over here, what is happening, I will tell you why I did this particular thing, that while you are trying to answer, I just scroll down to the answer and try to show you that. This is a very simple mistake. We are talking about facts over here. So let's leave what is right, what is wrong. Leave that aside and let's talk about a normal fact, what a student does. You are sitting in the exam center. Exam centers are not that kind of well bounded where you are not able to see the other person's desktop. Some centers it might be, most of the centers it's not. Your general tendency will be, first of all, questions are shuffled in most cases. There are different sets prepared. You will not be able to. But this exact question will be there on the other person's computer. You are able to see this question. You have left this question. You are not very clear. While solving, suddenly your eyes went towards the other direction. These are facts which happen in real life exam. So we are talking about facts. Let's leave ahead. Okay, sir, this is cheating. Why are you talking about this? This is not actually. Everyone knows, but everyone does. Okay. So let's talk about facts. What you are doing your answer over here. Suddenly your eyes went and you remembered at the back of your mind, hey, I have left this question. Okay, what is this girl or guy marking out? Okay, he marked option number 3. First of all, question pattern, your number of these questions are shuffled. That can be one thing. Second thing can be, for you, what is option 1? For that guy, or option the other option, like the options are shuffled among each other. So when you see that he is marking option 3, you came and marked option 3, can be a wrong answer. Secondly, the other thing can be, for example, what was happening over here? You are seeing C. And as soon as you were able to see, I was asking you continuously, what is the answer? You would have seen that, okay, sir, somehow by mistake, he has scrolled down. C is the answer. So option 3. The Leaning Tower of Pisa is located in Netherlands. Let's try to go and okay, option C is correct. This is, sir, yes, sir, this is located in Netherlands. In between, what you have forgot is that there are these lines jumbled up and this is how it's going. That's why, Sneha, you got confused suddenly. Okay, I didn't see the answer, you said, you scrolled down. It might be. So this one, let's now see, okay, actually, if it's that's how it's going or not. So this we will see for PISA where it's going. This is the string. And it's going to 1. Option 1. What is our answer? C. That is flight 3. We have cancelled out 2. We have cancelled out 4. We have cancelled out 1 now. Then this one is located. Option 3 is the correct answer. Okay. Find out the name of the structure. This will be a work for you before you come for this evening 6 p.m. class. Will you guys be able to do it? Yes or no? Find out the different important archaeological structures first, then try to relate it with the shadow or like, this kind of only symbolization of this particular structure. These structures hence you can identify or tell that, okay, this is how it is. But this one you don't know. So identify it and come for the next class. Okay, now over here, see, we have a symbol of the odd one out. Tell me which one is the odd one. I know option D, you cannot see it. It is a mistake while making this paper, like, while taking screenshots and combining this paper.
Option B.
Option B is there, A is there, C is there, D is there. Option D is the wrong answer. Why? I will tell you. A, B, C. These are all places or like, these signs are for public places or like public places in terms of where it is like publicly visible in uniform for everyone. So escalator, this is staircase, this is this. This one is actually for washroom purpose. Because we have gone through this question last year once I did a paper analysis. I remember this question, how I can tell that, okay, there is not something apart from that, which is kind of irrelatable with these set of things which you see over here. Okay, these are public pathways or transits which are not in accordance with that one. So hence it is the odd one out. Okay, this set of question I showed you last day while, okay, that class is also live on YouTube, was live on YouTube, yesterday's class. Yesterday's morning class itself, wherein we have tried to understand that the analytical reasoning question, and this was one where it was unfolding figure, or I guess this particular thing was from that view thing, like, what was the segment under which we have discussed this set of question? 3D visualization of figures, right?
Yes.
Right or wrong?
Yes.
So what will be the front view of this? They are considering front as this one. What is the correct front view? 5 seconds time you have, quickly. Quickly. Option A, B, C, and D are there. What I told, process of elimination. First of all, what are the general difference between A, B, C, D? A, B, C are all having rectangles over here. B is only having a triangle. Is a triangle possible or a rectangle possible? When you see perpendicular in this direction, what is possible? Triangle or rectangle?
Triangle.
Huh?
Sorry, rectangle.
See the way this has been made. There is a clear demarcation of, I will mark it out. You see this one, you see this one. When you look perpendicular to that from that direction, this is how it will look. This is how it will look to you, right?
Yes.
So then it is a rectangle. Option B is the wrong answer. Process of elimination, we will use POE. Very simple. Now we will move ahead with ACD. What are the differences in between them? The shape of this particular triangle in the center is the very simple difference. What is the triangle that we see over here? Shape of the triangle, not only triangle, wait. Not only triangle. Over here, A and C are quite similar. In D, so in A and C, we can see 3 surfaces over here. In D, we can only see 2 surfaces over here. Okay. So how many surfaces do you think when we look perpendicular in this direction will be visible?
3.
3 surfaces. Okay. How come 3? Mark out those 3. 1 is over here, 2 is over here. Is this one 3?
Your cursor one and the 3D one and one behind that.
When you look perpendicular, whatever is perpendicular to you, you can see it. So 1, 2, 3. There are no angles. So you will be seeing something from this angle, small part of this, not possible. Perpendicular means the part of that particular surface also has to be perpendicular to you. So D is a wrong answer. Out of A and C, we will need to identify. Out of A and C, when we are identifying, we see this triangle is a uniform or a kind of a equilateral triangle. where sides are similar, not like this. And see,
Touching the line below that slope.
yes,
It is a straight line, and here it is a slanting line.
yeah,
So
it is a straight line, and both are inclined lines only. From this point, both are inclined lines. Okay, that is not the thing. When we give a look as a whole. If you look at the triangle, does it look like this? It's like, very conical and lengthier like this, or it looks uniform. It looks uniform, right? So we will be going with option C. We will check what is the correct answer first of all. So option C is the correct answer. Now, everyone, students over here in class, students, or in the live chat, or I must tell in students who are there in our YouTube live or watching as a playback. These questions, what I have just showed to you, is actually a demarcation of explanation. When you actually do it in paper, this thing will go back at your head, at the back of your head, and hardly should take 7-8 seconds maximum for you to answer this question. See this? Okay, eliminate. This is the one left. Correct answer. Just compare. Okay, is it there? Is it there? Everything is there. Matching in accordance with the structure. Yes, it's matching. Okay, this is the answer. Let's go to the next question. This is how it will be. For this one, okay, it's not visible. We will not go in. So these are the segment. I guess with this, we are pretty much able to understand what are the segment or what are the kind of questions that are going to come. I guess that is the very important thing what we are clearing today. And we have seen it in and it's very clear to everyone, I guess. Okay. What is this? Choose the color of the path for which the person has to reach the finish in the shortened amount of time. Okay, the path which will make the person reach to this zone in the lowest amount of time. Which path do you think is it?
pink color. Imagine.
Elimination process. This green one is very much jumbled, not possible. Red one, again, see the way it's moving. Not possible. Green and red is gone. Green, red gone. Cyan and magenta, so over here, these two colors, this magenta and cyan is actually not quite people are similar with. Hence, they have over here, they have the demarcations of which color is what. Now, we see that we are left with this cyan color and magenta color. So, first of all, we will go with this. Okay, first of all, it's very hard to identify one thing that we don't have the demarcations over here, and I will go.
Magenta is the pink color.
Yeah, so I was being very true with you because I don't know, I don't really remember which is the cyan and magenta. Okay, guys, really sorry for the interruption of the live stream and for you guys also in class. There was suddenly I guess there was a disconnection of our network, I guess. Yeah. Okay, fine. There was an issue with the broadband connection in between. Okay, no issues. Fine. So we will continue with our class as we were doing. So where is this CMYK color composition used? RGB is used in any sort of televisions, any sort of devices, red, green, blue. Your RYB is the primary color scheme, red, yellow, blue. Where is the CMYK used? CMYK, am I audible to all of you? Yes or no?
Yes.
Okay, so CMYK is used in, let me share the screen first. Yeah, CMYK is used in any printers which you see, any sort of printers where you see there the color composition used over there is this KR Magneta yellow, and your K stands for black. Okay. If you have a color printer at your home, or if you visit a shop anytime, definitely do go and check it out. You will get a good idea about it. Okay. Now, I was just going to check. So you are telling this, which one is this pink color?
Magenta.
Magenta. So first of all, answer is magenta. That is one thing. And if you look at this pink color, see the distance, you compare it with this. The terms will explain you that if it is like, shortened or not. So magenta is the right answer. Fine. So we have this view shapes and all, and okay, you are able to asked to identify number of surfaces over here. Tell the correct answer quickly. How many number of surfaces? View 1 and view 2 of that one particular shape only is shown to you. How many surfaces are there? Quickly tell. Quickly tell how many surfaces are present in that structure, in this structure. How many? Okay, we will start
50.
counting. Yeah, tell Karthik.
50.
15. Okay, we will start counting. This side. 1, 2. Okay. And okay, first of all, let us take out as a shape, divide it into shapes. These two handles, how many surfaces they are having? 1 on the exterior, 1 on the interior, 2 on the sides. Exposed 4 and 4, 8 we have considered. Now for this one, 1 at the top, 1 at the bottom. So 8 plus 2 is 10. Over here 1, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, this part, this upper part inside, 16 surfaces we have got. Is it 16 or any can it be anything less? Have I counted something more?
No, it's 16 only.
It's 16 only.
Yeah.
Okay. Can't it be something less? First of all, okay, let me check the answer, because I am having a feeling it can be something less. Fine. It is 15 surfaces they are telling. Now, what we have counted more we need to see. Over here, back of the panel is 1. Over here it's 2. On this side it's 3. Okay. Now, this is 4. This is 5. This top part is 6. This is 7. Inner part is 8. Inner part is 9. Done? 11 is as a whole. 12 is as a whole. Till then, I guess there is something wrong with this answer. 14, 12, then 13, 14. It's 15 on the inner part and 16. Till there is 16 surfaces. Or did I count something more? Wait. 1 over here, 2 over here, 2 surfaces, 3 and 4, 5 and 6, 7 and 8. Okay, after that, 9 as a whole, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. No. 15 surfaces only. It was my mistake. 15 surfaces only. See, 3 surfaces for these handles, 3 surfaces separately. 3 plus 1 is 4 plus 1 is 5. On the back side is 6. After that, 7 as a whole, 8 as a whole, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, and I guess I'm missing something still. It's 15 surfaces. 15 surfaces is the number that we have counted over here just now. Okay. Clear? Any doubts?
No, sir.
If you have anything, because I guess we went over this question 2-3 times, so might be quite confusing. If you have anything, please tell. We will go for this once again. But these things should be clear. You should be able to identify it during the exam, and you should be doing good. That's the whole point for this exam also. So there shouldn't be anything like, that, okay, you are making a mistake during exam. Okay. Which out of the following color model specifies green as a basic color? Musnell color system, natural color system, RGB, CMYK. Which one? Which one from here? Over here, what are the things that we haven't studied? RGB is something which is used in televisions also. CMYK is something like, which is used in your printers also. Now we don't know about our natural color system, and our one thing is the Munsell color system. So we need to know regarding that. Wait, I will just open the. What is Munsell color system? Let's understand. So Munsell color system is a method of designating colors based on color arrangement scheme. Okay. It was developed by and all. We don't need all these things. It defines colors by measured scale of hue or value and chroma. Now see, what is this Munsell color scheme or system? I will tell, because this term or terminology, I will be very true to you, was actually not very familiar to me. What we have seen in our color theory PDF, or while we were discussing color theory PDF, have you seen all the colors are arranged in a, like, in a hue segment? So you add something to something and something will be formed. So it's kind of like primary is there. After that, it's a combination. So in a segment or a hue, different shades and tints are being used and the whole wheel is being formed. Have you seen that? Do you remember that? Definitely you have seen that. Do you remember that?
Yes.
So that is like, how we have arranged those different, like, segments of colors in the in respect with their different hues or so. That is what is the Munsell color system. And in this Munsell color system, now in this color wheel, what are our basic or primary colors? Our primary colors are your red, yellow, and blue. Okay. Now in this segment of where we have used, okay, but they're asking, wait, green as a basic color. I'm pretty much confused regarding this, because I feel the correct answer will be red, green, and blue, which are these are the three basic colors what we see in, like, in our any sort of devices. I will come back to you guys with this question. Okay, question number 86, because I am only quite confused regarding this. I'm not pretty sure if it is the correct answer which has been given over here, or mostly since it's the answer key, it should be correct, but still I will have a check, have a proper clarification, and come back to you guys. Anyone, people watching this class live, or we students who are watching are over here. Okay, or for students who will be watching this in their app. Make sure everyone just mark out this question. We will come back to this question and discuss. Okay, now now there are a few tricky questions, like sequence of colors present day Google logo. So you have seen Google logo every time you search for it, but still you cannot remember. So what is the color orientation, do you think, if you remember the logo? First of all, G is written in blue. After that, right now, okay, let me open Google in front of me. So first blue, then your red, then yellow, then again blue, then green, then red. Now these are some of the things which we know, which we have used out. We will feel like, okay, I know this question, why I can't remember, or what is the actual thing. But when you use, these are certain things which, like, we overlook, and these are the questions which might come. Okay. So we have discussed regarding these set of questions, few general knowledge, few things related with architectural structure, materials that have to architecture. General knowledge will be something that we will be covering up. Again, this foremost visual principle thing, this is what you need to go with. And I guess now we have discussed every sort of questions that we have. We need to, okay, see, color psychology we discussed, right? So over here, French, let's just see this question. French post-impressionist artist Paul Gauguin was an important figure. They have told about this artist, where he was, what was the color, kind of colors he used, what was his vision, what was his concept, why he used that, and all these things. What does this painting color representing? Color of the paint as a whole, the color scheme, what we have discussed in our color theory chapter, color theory and color psychology. We have discussed regarding the moods that we get, right? Peace, anger, joy, love. So as a whole, what is this getting? What is this kind of thing giving to you? What is this thing giving to you? Peace, anger, joy, or love?
Anger.
Why anger? Can you explain it?
Because of that red color.
Red color, and as a whole, is there something from the composition also that you can see that will give you a sense of anger?
They are praying to someone who is killing
Praying or
them.
requesting kind of thing over here, kind of a fight like scenario going, or as a whole, the whole scenario is giving you a sense of anger, right? So this is why we have discussed that color theory and color psychology chapters. This will come, or this will be important over here. Okay, now there are nothing. Okay, one kind of thing can also be this. So 2021 we have questions wherein There were two things introduced in 2021. Riddles, which was again removed in 2022. Riddles means absolute riddles, tricky question. And other thing was two compositions are given and find the number of odd things or the differences in between them. Over here, we can see a modification of that, find the number of differences. We can see this similar image is kind of a modification of that. You need to identify among this, which one is the image which is not matching. There is some problem or there is some mistake in that image in comparison with the rest. Okay, so which one do you think is the right answer?
One.
Option A.
Option C.
Option C. Why option C?
Because if we see on the right side, there are one stem, two stem, and the third one is extra in this one. No,
One,
about that one.
Three.
No.
And this one you are talking about in the middle, right?
Yeah, that one is extra. That is not there in other.
Very minutely with a fine stroke done, but that is what is making the demarcation. Okay, same kind of thing. So over here now you will not get two images where you need to count number of differences. Mostly these kind of questions can come wherein you are given 4 images and something is made, like some sort of mistake is there. Okay. Now, okay, logo things and all, and we have discussed. Okay, study the diagram given below, identify how many persons can take tea and wine but not coffee. What question is this from? From where do you think this question has come up?
Sets and relations.
Sets and relations. Not exactly sets of how it is represented usually, but in some way you can consider it as a set. We don't have that normal figure of universal set, then circles representing different things. This is the abstract representation and somehow related and will help you. So it's kind of a reasoning question, but the core of this question is in going towards set relations only. Triangle represents person who can take tea. Circle represents takes coffee, and this one represents wine. So people who are within circle, within circle, within rectangle, and within your triangle. Okay, the 15 people are there who take everything. So they are telling identify how many persons take tea and wine. Sorry, but not coffee. Okay. So first, tea and wine, but not coffee, they are talking about. So if we have to identify tea and wine, but not coffee. So for wine, which is one, this one. So everyone who is over here, they take wine. Now out of which for tea, they are in the circle. So they take tea and wine, but they don't take coffee. So they are exclusive of coffee. Okay. They take both tea and wine, they have not mentioned. Right. If they tell they take only tea and wine, in that case, we could have easily told that person who is there in between also, but not coffee is actually the number 30. They are in the tea segment as well and the wine segment.
I guess 17 is the right answer, no?
No, see, they are telling tea persons who have to identify how many persons take tea and wine, but not coffee. So if 17 we are considering, 17 is, acha, T is triangle, right? Okay.
Yeah, you took it as circle.
So T 17 is over here, which is considered under these two things. They take tea and coffee both. Sorry, tea and wine both, but not coffee. But one thing we will have to address over here, because I have not seen the answer yet. So one thing, if I was a student, I would also think about this, that see, they have told tea and wine, but they have not mentioned that thing. They take both tea and wine only. So it can be, or there can be also a possibility where we are asked to identify either they take wine or they tea. That word is also not used, neither both. So we don't know. Now we will see the options once. There is 20, there is 17, 25, 15. Now if I start considering they can take also only tea or only wine, then the number will be very huge. As a whole, we can understand simply from this, right? So coffee means this circle. Other than circle, we have like several people who take wine, but and they don't take your wine and tea they take, but they don't take coffee. So once I am looking at the options, it's becoming more clear that they are talking about they take both wine and tea only. They are not talking about separately they can take wine or coffee, tea, anything, but not coffee. So hence 17 is the right answer. We will check. Yeah, answer. Are you getting the point why I went in that direction? Like, I could have easily told 17 is the right answer. Let's move ahead. But another thought which also might come at in the back at the mind of some student, I've just tried to showcase that as well. Is it like, did you get that point?
Yes.
Fine. Okay. So we have this. Now there are, okay, these kind of questions. This is a very good segment of questions, which is easier. So we need to identify and we need to solve these questions. Okay. And I'm rubbing this now. We have discussed and we have got an idea. Everything is there in this lecture recorded. So we have got a pretty good idea of what are the kind of questions that are going to come also. Now we need to discuss regarding this particular set of question or this question exactly. There are quite a few questions or these set of questions might come and it's very much easier to solve. I think board is visible, right? So we will go this one, 102, question number 102. It's telling whenever this question, we are solving these set of questions, not right direction wise. First of all, if there is a mentioning of the direction, okay, without direction, if there is a question, then note it. But if there is a mention of direction and you are supposed to identify a direction, in the corner or at a certain point in your rough page, we will draw this. North, south, east, west. Okay. Now we are starting, this is our universal point, point 0. We are starting from. You go north. Now I am over here, I reached north. Like I went towards north certain point. Then I turn right. So as a human being, I turn right side. Then turn right again. I turn right again from this point. Okay, I guess this thing is also not visible. Wait. I'm really sorry. I'll come back. I will stop this sharing first and let's start over this question. Okay. Because I can see it's not visible to you guys. So over here, whenever you get these questions wherein you are asked to identify the directions, mark out this kind of thing. North, south, east. Is the screen board now visible to you guys? Yes or no?
Yes, sir.
North, south. I know the letters are kind of a mirror image to you. So please ignore it. North, south, east, west. Now I will go with the question. My point 0 is this one. I am starting. You go north. You go north, it's telling. So I went north. As a human being, now I am a human being. My right side, this one. I went right. I am turning right again. After that, they are telling, then you go left. So now over here is the trick. You are a human being. Now, when you are standing facing towards this direction, your left, my left is not the left of this person. My left is his right. So if he is turning left, he will go to this direction. Getting the point? Now it's telling which direction are you facing. So which direction I am facing now from this point? You will be able to compare easily with this. Which direction am I facing?
South.
How come south?
East. Sorry, east. Sorry.
East. This is east, this is west. That's why this plus symbol. You will be able to identify which direction. What is the correct answer? East. They play the trick over here in certain points like this or several sections like this where you do a mistake. And the other thing, that is why we are making this structure north, south, east, west. So easily we are able to tell which direction. We will put this in the very side of our figure which we are drawing. Otherwise, might be you made this and then suddenly you forgot. Okay, north is like this, south is like this, might be west is in that. This kind of mistakes might happen. Hence, we are drawing this. So this can be a set of questions that can be there possibly. Now see, okay, this is a very interesting question. A man, okay, let me share the PDF again. A man facing south, he turns 135 O in the anti-clockwise direction. Then turn 180 O in the clockwise direction. So what's happening over here? First of all, I will again stop sharing this PDF and we will try to look at this because these questions are very interesting and bit tricky to be solved. We are solving question number 104. I am over here. Oh wait, again there can be an issue with markings. Move a bit left. North, south, east, west. I am over here. I am a human being. I am telling a man is there or any man is there. He turns 150. So first of all, again, I will draw these dotted line over here for better understanding. He turns one. He is facing now this direction. He is turning. First of all, he is not facing that direction. They are telling he is facing south. So here is your human being. He is facing this direction. This south. So now they are telling that now you turn from this direction. So it will be like this. He is looking straight, opposite to you. So what is your clock? Is it anti-clock? He is turning in an anti-clockwise direction. Okay. Then 135. So for example, I am standing over here like this and I will turn to my clockwise. Okay, so now clock and anti-clock will be the same for both. He is clockwise. So this way. You are turning to 135. 90 and 90 would have been 180. But I am going to 35. So that means 45 degrees, somewhere in the center. 90 for this segment. Please understand it. I am left with 10 over here. So 45 degrees in this direction. Right? Now from this segment, I am turning 180 degrees in anti-clockwise direction. So 180 degrees from this direction will make me reach where? Is this a semicircle being completed? Yes or no? Yes or no?
Yes.
Semicircle will make me reach to the red pen 180 degrees to this direction. What is this direction? If this is east, this is south. What is this direction? Southeast. Yes?
Yes.
This is southeast. Which is the correct answer? Option D. Option D is southwest. Wait. Did I do something wrong? This person over here is clockwise. If he is standing as a human being facing towards south, that is north, east, left hand is east, right hand is west, and he is turning in his clockwise direction. Yeah, he is turning in this direction, 135 degrees over here. And after that, he is moving towards this direction, 180 degrees. So that means he is making a shift of, like if I consider in the other way around also, that means he is making a shift of, 30 removed from 80 is 40 and 45 degrees towards his left. So if he makes a 45 degree shift towards his left means yes, anti-clock itself. Yeah. So if it makes a shift towards his left in anti-clockwise direction, it is south to east. Acha, okay. Sorry. I turned the question, right? I took clock as anti-clock and anti-clock as clock. That's why this great mistake. Fine. See, these are the same things. Now, if this mistake happens right now in class, I know I'm discussing all these things, giving an explanation. But these sort of things in a hurry might, like, there is a huge chance this will happen to you also in the exam. So make sure you see it well and good. Now I have here the answer, so I can compare. But in exam, you don't have an answer. So cross verify once as well. Keep some time, so half an hour or 20 minutes time for a cross verification, or cross verify each answer after you solve it. This is north, south, east, west. I am standing over here, ground zero. First, I am turning anti-clockwise. So if I am turning if I am turning anti-clockwise direction 135 degrees, first anti-clockwise I turn 90 degrees. Okay. Then I am left with 45 degrees. 45 degrees will be in the center. Okay. So this is my current position. I will mark my current position now. This is my current position after turning. Now I am turning in the clockwise direction. So now if I turn in the clockwise direction, then I am moving this way and 180 degrees. So 180 degrees is on what line? 180 degrees is towards this direction. So a full semicircle from where I am. If I'm turning a full semicircle, I'm reaching to this position. So now if this is north, this is south, this is east, this is west. So this is what? This is southwest. Clear? Any doubts? Any doubts?
No, sir.
Fine. Am I audible now properly or not? Am I
Yes,
audible
you
now
are.
properly?
Yes.
Okay. I guess I was not audible in between properly, right?
No, you are audible. To me, you are audible.
Asha, okay. Fine. Okay. So I guess do you feel that today's session is going a bit long? Because I think in your voice also that kind of feeling is there where you guys are feeling making me feel like, okay, sir, how much long are you going to take this class? We will complete the paper and then we are done with this. Nothing much left, I guess. We will scroll down and see what are the things over here quickly. See, now we have a few questions wherein few things are quite related to your general. So for example, you are anxiously waiting at home for someone. You don't you don't give it a thought. You are just too busy at your work. You are run out the minute and hear a car stop outside. You call up many times to find out why it is taking so long. So they are talking about which is the most relatable answer. You will have to mark one only, but they have given two things can happen actually. So two options is possible. You will have to mark out one. So anyone you mark out is possibly a right answer. You run out the minute of your house. So when you are thinking anxiously waiting for someone at home, what can happen? You go out, you hear a car sound and you go out, this kind of thing can happen, or you went out and you hear the car sound. And the other thing is you are calling the other person many times to find out why it is taking so long. These are natural things which can happen. They are talking about. Okay. So, okay. Now there are quite a few things which are simple. Over here, we have option A, B, C. Okay, they are asked to identify which one is related to what. Correct answer if bonus attempted. Okay, I guess. See, now this was this very good option for you guys, and this happens everywhere. I am not, see, this session is going live on YouTube. I am not humiliating anyone. I don't want to criticize any organization. I really understand the patience and the kind of effort required to conduct any exam. It's not that easy, but the sources and resources is also more. And when this exam is all about a student's future also, I think exam centers also, they should be pretty much clarified on their thought of what they are going to do ahead. Repeatedly changing the exam dates at some point, or sometimes we have seen when just today you are releasing a post where you are telling tomorrow form filling is ending. After that, tomorrow second post is coming. No, it's extended for 2 days. So make sure we these things are, we should make sure that we are clarified about these things. Coming to this question, see what I told just a few minutes ago, or at the very beginning of this session, or previously also I have told, that there might be some questions over here in this question. The question itself is not given. 4 flags and 4 options. You don't know what to do. So anyone who has marked out any answer, you have no clue what to do. You have marked out any answer, you are confused. It's written as bonus if attempted. So you attempt each question. Make sure there is not a single question which is left out, since there is no negative marking. Okay. Fine. We have these set of things, and I guess there are now a few questions which are again going into the same thing, kind of. So now see, identify the 4 architectural components in the image given below. These are related to the material used in architecture. We will just have a quick study about this in our upcoming classes as well. And there are these simple questions also, which will be there, nothing much more different. These are all things related to structure aspects, or things used in architecture, materials used in architecture, or structural aspects, general structural aspects of a building also. Depending upon that, this is how or what is being used. This is all about the roof. What kind of roof is over here? Or what are the kinds of roof that are being used over here? Okay. Now again, see a paragraph, 6 paragraphs we have got today. And this is the marking I was talking about. This is the paragraph marking, or how many panels or how many panels. No. This is not a paragraph question. These are the 30 seconds question we have. They have written over here as paragraph. This is nothing but the same thing. But carefully observe the given image of the design board with that 8 panels using different color text and graphics. You can view the image for 30 seconds, after which it will disappear. So this question itself, like, tells you or gives you idea about what thing you should look for the panels individually with a good view. Okay. So they are asking how many panels. So these are the questions which we need to practice. There is nothing to be discussed in here. Okay. 30 seconds questions comes up. As mentioned, we will practice 5 sets of these set of questions, wherein we will have 30 seconds time after that. That's all for today's class. We have discussed this whole set of paper. I guess now you guys, anyone who are over here, have got a pretty good idea about what are the kind of questions that might come and what are the kind of questions that have come for the 2022 paper. 2023 paper, that is your first attempt paper. We will try to understand what are the differences, if there's any. What are the things now we exactly need to focus on and practice similar kind of questions for our mock tests, which are now coming up. Dates will be announced soon to you guys. Just there will be around 4 mock tests, I guess, before your second attempt exam over here. So these things will help you out, and these questions or going through these questions is actually what's going to help out for your exam. Okay, any doubts or queries which any one of you has? People watching it live on YouTube, write down in the comment section. You guys can tell me over here. Any queries, any doubts?
No, sir.
Fine, then that's all for this class. See you guys in today's evening session, 6 p.m. You can exit the meeting now. Thanks a lot. Karthik, please exit the meeting. You can exit the meeting now. Rest all also, you can exit the meeting. Fine. So guys, people watching it live on YouTube, that's all for this session. Hope you have really enjoyed the session, got some more than enjoyment. It was a long session. I guess today's session went more than 2 hours. It was like, we planned for this session. We came up because we feel it's not about the hour or duration which you are hearing. It's more about the kind of discussion that we are having is really helpful. See, these sessions are always more helpful when you come in the live session and discuss or ask us the doubts, because when you are watching a playback, you will not get that interest. Over here, if you are asking a doubt, I am here to reply. It's a human to human interaction. For a recorded session, 2 hours, people don't watch a movie together. They go for a popcorn or an interval in between. So that's the whole point, guys. See you all in the upcoming session today at 6 p.m. Make sure you stay tuned with us for all these sessions. Go for your exam on 3rd of June. Before you're going for your exam on 3rd of June, before that, well clarified about all these things. Make sure you make yourself prepared. Any doubts you have, we have a simple contact number +91, definitely the Indian code after that, 76249. I forgot my number. Wait, I forgot our own number. So it is 76249888138. Okay. This is the institute contact number. You can connect us over this number and make sure you clarify any sort of doubts that you have. Get it clarified. Check out our exclusive website where you get all information about us. Moreover, all sorts of courses that we have available. Make sure right now after this session, now you are going to download the app from Google Play Store. Link is available in description, and take the maximum help that you can get from us and prepare the best for your exam. That's all for this particular session. See you today at 6 p.m. Stay tuned with us for all these sessions. Make yourself prepared and go and let's crack this NATA 2023 exam with the best of the best schools. That's all, guys. See you all. Make sure you share this video with all your friends if you find this helpful, and make sure you do hit the subscribe button if this session was good for you, and do like the video if you have got some important knowledge or information from this. Thanks a lot, guys. Stay tuned with us. See you all.